Hello, I'm tuning in everybody from my computer to do 2009 early Oscar predictions. Not mine, personally, but it's the annual AOL moviefone. They do early Oscar predictions, and out of pure excitement, I read like the first half, but these will be pretty much my live reactions to what they think are going to be the Oscar nominations this year. Keep in mind, this is September, and things are very subject to a lot of change. Last year, they were off so much, which is completely understandable, because they did make them in September. And they had, like, Changeling and stuff nominated for Best Picture. The only movie they actually got right in Best Picture, I think, was Button. I'm not even sure if they had Button nominated. But that's the only one I can really remember that they had nominated, and I don't feel like going to look. So, here's Best Picture and 10 Best Picture nominees, which I think is freaking awesome. At first, I thought it was a dumb idea. Actually, I kind of liked it, but there was such a spark over WALL-E and The Dark Knight not getting nominated over Benjamin Button and The Reader last year that they felt the pressure, a lot of heat to put this on, and I think that's pretty cool. The other thing is, like, I personally know how they feel, because later on as moving through this year, even I myself cannot limit myself to a top 5 of the year, even so far, and we're, obviously a little over halfway there, but still, it still feels very constricted, because if I say my top 5, I feel like I'm missing another, like, 5 or 4 or something, so that's why I think it's pretty cool that they have 10 this year. Most of these movies are yet to come out. Now, the first one is Precious. I'll read the buzz just for the Best Pictures. How strong is the hype on the critically acclaimed urban drama and Sundance darling? Tyler Perry and Oprah have stepped on it as executive producers, almost ensuring the magical combo of a strong review and popular support. I've heard very little about this movie, but I don't know if it's how it's going to turn out. A Serious Man, which is the Coen brothers' new one. There's really no, like, stars here. There's no star power. And I heard some things about the movie, but I didn't really care for the trailer that much. But apparently it got a lot of hype around, the Toronto Film Festival. Next, we have The Lovely Bones. Now, I saw this trailer, and I don't see why it would be in the Best Picture category. I like it, but I don't know why it'd be up there. I just think, why am I'm like, and it got its date moved from, like, December 14th to January 14th, or December something, or just December 11th, or I'm not completely sure what its original date was, but I think it got moved to January 14th. It might hurt its Oscar chances, it might not, but I didn't know that much about it. Up in the Air, the George Clooney movie, he always gets a lot of hype. That one's kind of expected. I'm not so sure Best Picture, but as well as a Best Actor. Up! Yes, I'm so happy to put this in here. I mean, really, if there's 10 nominations, you gotta think that Up, with a 97% on Rotten Tomatoes, with every critic just adoring it, that it's gonna get maybe an Oscar nomination for Best Picture. I'm not so sure if it's, I mean, I don't know what's going to happen then, because if it's in the animated category. I want to read the buzz on this one. Pixar's 10th straight critical darling was also their 10th straight box office smash, earning 291 million dollars at the box office, and WALL-E was considered a dark horse a year ago, but when the Best Picture category is expanded to 10 slots, Up could be a shoo-in. Yeah, I really do think it could get a nomination. 9, the musical, I kind of expected that one, you know, I haven't looked much into it, but, you know, Avatar, the trailer, yeah, it even says it in the trailer, I don't know if it might be, like, one of the first 3D movies nominated for Best Picture, if it does. I don't know how the movie's going to turn out, but the Academy loves James Cameron, and now with the 10, I don't know if it's going to be too sci-fi for them, because they didn't nominate Terminator 2 Judgment Day, which was him, which is kind of weird, and that movie was just amazing, and critics loved it too. But, you know, if there's 10, maybe. The Hurt Locker. I'm so happy this movie's getting a lot of buzz, because it really deserves it. I think if it's definitely a front-runner for a win, too. Next, we have Amelia, the movie about Amelia Earhart. That's kind of obvious. It's basically, like, a mix of a biopic, and, I mean, it's Yeah, it's kind of like Milk of this year. It's probably going to be like that. In Education, I don't really know much about this movie. I know Alfred Molina's in it, and I do like him, and I think that it's got a strong cast. That's all I really know about it right now. Let me count here. I don't know if they have exactly 10. I think they kind of went overboard. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Why do they have 14 Best Picture nominations? I do not know. The next one is Invictus, which is, The next one is Invictus, which is a Clint Eastwood directed movie. Yeah, he got snubbed last year, but who knows? I thought Gran Torino was supposed to be his last movie. But you know, he could prove getting a new nomination here from his snubs last year, which I thought was terrible because Gran Torino was a great movie. All right, Star Trek. Star Trek is something I didn't expect to be on here. I think it's definitely would deserve a slot there, but something I'm not so sure about because it might be too sci-fi, just too much of a colorful sci-fi for the Academy to take. I don't know. The critics adored this movie. Who knows? What are the wild things are? There's a lot of hype around this movie. I'm not really getting it, but it's based on a book, so that might be where it is. They say it's here. Yeah, the same thing I thought. It's close to Finding Neverland in its style. That movie obviously racked up many nominations. So yeah, if that gets in there, I might be surprised. District 9. District 9, I'm surprised Bastards isn't on here with all these other ones, even though some critics really didn't like it. But District 9 is a movie that definitely deserves it without even having to explain why. I'm going to read them all off and then do my, what I think at the end. Alright, Colin Firth for A Single Man, Matt Damon for The Informant, George Clooney, this is Best Actor, Up in the Air, Michael Stuhlbarg, Serious Man, Viggo Mortensen, The Road, Daniel Day-Lewis, Nine the Musical, Robert Duvall, Get Low, Clive Owen, The Boys Are Back, Mark Wahlberg, The Lovely Bones, Ben Whishaw, Bright Star, Morgan Freeman, Invictus, and Sharlto Copley for District 9. Sharlto Copley, I definitely think deserves something. He was just awesome. Everybody else that's kind of expected, though, Morgan Freeman. Mark Wahlberg, I'd love to see him get another nomination. Maybe a comeback from The Happening, Daniel Day-Lewis. You know, these people you expect to see on here. Best Actress, Meryl Streep, Abby Cornish, Carey Mulligan, Penelope Cruz. I'm not reading the names. For Julie and Julia, Bright Star in Education, Broken in Premises or Not, Embraces. Sorry. Gaberney Sidibe, I don't know, for Precious, Saoirse Ronan for The Lovely Bones, Charlize Theron in The Burning Plan, Hilary Swank for Amelia. Meryl Streep, I think she definitely deserves that. Another nomination for her. I think it'd be her 16th. But, everybody else, you know, these are pretty interesting nominations. I'm not sure if they're exactly going to get them. Saoirse Ronan, I don't know if that's how you pronounce her first name. I think she could do a really great job in that movie. I think she's definitely a great young actor. She kind of reminds me of somewhat of a Dakota Fanning, but she's still really good. And for Penelope Cruz to get another Oscar nomination, that'd be nice too. Best Supporting Actor, Christoph Waltz, Glorious Bastards, Alfred Molina, and Education, and Paul Schneider, Bright Star. They only have 3 here, but they have like 20 billion for the other ones. Christoph Waltz, definitely the shoo-in to win for me, and a lot of other people. And then they only have 1 category left. They have Monique for Precious, Anna Kendrick for Up in the Air, and Rachel Weisz for The Lovely Bones. Okay, so those I don't really know about. Rachel Weisz, I like her. I don't know, I think she's got another nomination. But other than that, they're pretty straightforward. Yeah, they're very vague. They're not very, in deep right at the moment, but we've have had a lot of good movies this year, and I think the Oscars should be very interesting, because I really want to know what's better than the next, because it's really hard to tell so far. I'm not exactly sure what's going to happen at the Oscars this year. I don't know what's going to be the Slumdog Millionaire to come and sweep us off our feet again. I don't know what's going to be the possible snub that's going to piss everybody off again, but the 10 Best Picture nominations might improve upon that. And actually, What's happened is it's been pushed to March. So Oscar buzz around, The Lovely Bones might still exist because the nominations don't come out till February. Now also Shutter Island, a movie that was released in, got pushed back to February, might also still have some Oscar buzz for anybody who's worrying about it. It might not. It might. Who knows? It's in February. Now, one of the only movies to be released in February and make it all the way back to Oscar season, which is a whole year later. It's, Oscar nominations, which would be a whole year later, but released in February. The Silence of the Lambs.